Assalamualaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So here we have our lesson number 4 from chapter number 2, homeostasis. Now in this lecture we will discuss about the homeostasis in animals, because in our previous lesson, in our lesson number 3, we have discussed about the homeostasis in plants. So today we will discuss about the homeostasis in animals, how all the aspects of homeostasis going in the animals. Okay, now so the homeostasis in animal is similar as in the plants, that we all know that there are three aspects of homeostasis: osmoregulation, thermoregulation, and excretion. If we talk about the osmoregulation, so osmoregulation basically take place in different types of animals, like the animals which are living in water, the animals which are living in terrestrial areas like the dry and deserted areas, and the animals which are living in the moderate condition, and we can take the example as human beings or men. Okay, now so we have three types of animals according to the osmoregulation: osmoregulation in animals, osmoregulation in aquatic animals, and osmoregulation in terrestrial animals. We will discuss osmoregulation in animals later on. Now we take a look on osmoregulation in aquatic animals. From here we have further two categories: the freshwater animals and the marine animals. Freshwater animal means the water which contain low salt concentration, and the marine animals, here the water is very salty. So in freshwater animals, we further divided into two categories: the unicellular and multicellular organism. And in marine animals we have three categories: bony fish, cartilaginous, and osmoconformer. Now the third number is the osmoregulation in terrestrial animal. Terrestrial animal means the animals which are living in the dry or deserted condition, like camel, kangaroo, some mollusks, reptiles like lizard, crocodiles, and the cockroach as well, the smallest animal of terrestrial area. Okay, now so the osmoregulation in aquatic environment is that the aquatic conditions are classified on the basis of the concentration of salt present in it. The water which contains very low amount of salt called fresh water, like river water, and the water contains high salt called marine water, like the ocean or sea water. Animal osmoregulate differently in both waters. Osmoregulation in freshwater animals have hypertonic conditions. Hypertonic conditions means they have more water in their body and low salt concentration inside their bodies or cells, so they always facing the problem of flooding of H2O and loss of salts. We can classify further these animals in two groups: the unicellular and the multicellular. We all know that the unicellular, the single cellular organism, and the multicellular, the multiple cell organism, like an organism is made up of billion or trillion of cells. Okay, now the unicellular organism, amoeba and paramecium. So students, you all know the structure of amoeba and paramecium. The amoeba have pseudopodia, the false feet, and the contractile vacuole, which basically helps in the movement. So it pump out the excess water by contractile vacuole. They contract and excrete out all the excess water. But in the multicellular organism, they pump out excess water by producing dilute urine. Why dilute urine? Because dilute means the more and more water and low salt. Loss of salt is compensated by active uptake of salts by gills and skin, as well as use of salt containing food. Now you have a look on this diagram. This light color fish is basically the fish which is living in the freshwater environment. So the diagram depicts the osmoregulation in a freshwater environment. Here the blue arrows shows the movement of water, and the red arrows shows the movement of ions. So as we have discussed that their gills actively take up ions because of the low salt concentration. So they take up the ions or the salt from their gills, and they excrete the dilute urine. Also they can compensate the loss of water through the skin. They absorb water through their skins. Okay, now we talk about the marine animals. Usually marine animals have hypertonic condition, like the low salt and also the low water condition inside the body. But some marine animals develop hypertonic high salt concentration, or isotonic same salt concentration, means no low no high. by their metabolism. Okay, now so here take a look over this dark color fish. This fish is basically living in sea water. So here it loses water through skin. It doesn't absorb water through the skin because water is very salty. That's why it doesn't absorb water through the skin, but it drinks ample of water. Why ample of water? Because after drinking the gills filter out all the salt and excrete it through the eyes. Also the most of the salt is excreted out into the urine, and it excretes concentrated urine. Why the concentrated urine? Because this urine contain very low amount or very low quantity of water but the high amount of salt. So that's why it is the phenomena through which the marine animals get rid of the extra water and the salt. Okay, now we have three categories in marine animals: bony fish, cartilaginous fish, and osmoconformer. Bony fish have low salt inside the body, actively get seawater and have salt gland to increase the salt in desalination, produce concentrated urine. Cartilaginous fish have high salt by storing urea inside, eat food which contain nitrogenous compound, that is meat. Osmoconformer have equal amount of salt. These animals do not require any activity to adjust their internal osmotic condition, that is unicellular. Here you can also place amoeba in the osmoconformer. The bony fishes, these are the fishes which we can eat, but not the cartilaginous fishes, because these fishes eat meat and also they excrete out the concentrated urine. Okay, now the osmoregulation in terrestrial condition, that the dry condition. Here the animals adapted some different adaptation in order to survive. Terrestrial conditions are harsh for living organism because the direct contact of heat to body causes loss of water, which leads to dehydration. Major problems of terrestrial life: only arthropod means cockroaches, some mollusks, reptiles mean crocodile and the lizard, birds and mammals can survive in this habitat because their bodies are covered by exoskeleton or thick skin which prevent loss of water. You can see that reptiles have very hard and dry skin. Also in cockroaches they have a pair of wings also which are very hard. So these are the exoskeleton. They prevent the loss of water by protecting from the heat. They conserve water by reabsorption in kidneys and rectum. So here cockroaches doesn't have kidneys, but they do have rectum in their intestine. So they conserve water by their food by active reabsorption. Some of them can produce water from fat catabolism with the help of peroxisome, that is camel. We all know that the camel they have a heap in their body structure, so that area basically absorb all the or store all the water that is coming from the catabolism of the fat which they ingest. Okay, now the fourth one is that the continuously drinking of water or using liquid food. So that the fourth point we can apply on ourselves also, because in Karachi we have sometime in summer we faces 40 degrees temperature. So at this temperature we are drinking ample of water in order to maintain the temperature or the loss of electrolytes. So the excretion is the process of removal of metabolic nitrogenous wastes, that is urea, uric acid, ammonia from the body. Excretion in animals are different, vary from animal to animal. Here we have 4 different types of animals through which we can get a concept how they excrete out their metabolic products. So the animal cells produce their nitrogenous waste during metabolism and remove them either in tissue fluid or in blood. So the animals develop some organs to alter the tissue fluid or blood. These organs are called excretory organs. In a diagram you can see that a simple animal which is a planaria. Planaria is also a parasite which can cause severe human infection if it get entry into the human body. So the excretory organ is the flame cell. You can see that in a diagram. This flame cell basically produces the dilute urine, which dilute urine contain the all ammonia product of its body, and the source is that's the tissue fluid. The tissue fluid is basically a fluid which surrounds the tissues. Okay, now the 3 more we have: earthworm, cockroach and vertebrate. In earthworm, the left one diagram is showing the picture of the earthworm. If we cut the earthworm from the middle, you can find out a linear gut. This gut is basically the excretory organ, the metanephridia, which also produces dilute urine, and from where it get all the ammonic product from the coelomic fluid. This coelomic fluid is basically same as the tissue fluid. In cockroaches, you can find out the Malpighian tubules. These Malpighian tubules, they are located just above the colon. In a diagram, you can see that the very thin cilia-like tubules, these tubules produce uric acid pellets, like solid pellets they produce, through which hemolymph. In vertebrate, we have kidneys, through which ammonia, urea and uric acid excreted out from blood throughout the body in the form of urine. Okay, now we are having a main heading, which is homeostasis in man. So in man, we have 3 different types of organs through which our homeostasis is maintained: skin, lungs and kidneys. The skin is considered as the largest organ of the body, basically function as a protective organ as well. We all know that the first line of defense, and work efficiently as a homeostatic organ by maintaining the temperature, water and salt. In a very high temperature, our body is perspiring, like our most of the water is evaporating or the excreting out in the form of sweat, and also our electrolytes. So the skin is basically maintaining your inner temperature at 37 degrees. Okay, now the second one is the lungs. Lungs maintain the gaseous level, the gaseous exchange, the maintained level of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood, body fluids and cells, maintenance of oxygen and carbon dioxide level, maintain rate of respiration and continuous flow of energy. We all know that the lungs are the part of the gaseous exchange process. Kidneys, so kidneys are called the filters of the body fluid. They maintain internal water by removing excessive water, also maintain urea, uric acid, creatinine and other waste by excreting them through urine. So beta, uric acid, creatinine and urea, these all are the catabolic product from the protein we ingest through food. So these are harmful for our body. So in this case, these products should be excreted out of our body. So kidneys play a major role in getting rid from these products and make our body healthy.